achieve a Swachh and Swasth Bharat, health and dignity for all. The eminent panelists in the session are Dr. Yusuf K. Hamied, Chairman, Cipla Limited, Dr. Bindeshwar, founder, Sunil Sanitation and Social Reform Movement, and Mr. P.V. Mohandas, Senior Vice President, Auditor Management Association and Chairman, Manipal Global Education Services Private Limited. The session will be chaired by Mr. Sunil Munjal, President, AIMA, and Chairman, Bureau Corporate Services. Dr. Yusuf K. Hamied, Chairman, Cipla Limited, Dr. Bindeshwar, founder, Sunil Sanitation and Social Reform Movement, we welcome all the dignitaries that are to kindly conduct the session.
The panel discussion on how to achieve Swachh and Swasth Bharat, health and dignity for all. Now it's clear that what India has done over the last 5 decades has actually improved India's economic capability decade on decade, every decade. Interestingly, we've also reduced poverty every decade. But what we have not done is either eradicate poverty completely or provide to all Indians a certain minimum standard of living. And that is, in many ways, the biggest challenge that we face as a nation. It is also clear that we are not a country, we're actually a continent in every aspect of the world. In proportion, in size, in diversity, in languages, in social structures. And we have almost inherited, over a long period of time, biases that have been built into our minds. It's almost genetic. As a nation state, we've had a language bias, we've had a regional bias, we have a caste bias, so we have a gender bias as well. We have a series of biases where it's almost training that you give to children that this is how you should treat each other. That is a challenge we also have as a nation. Swami Vivekananda, Swami Dayanand, and many other leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, many other leaders try to address this squarely, saying that India needs to be divided not by caste, but India needs to figure out roles that it has to play which are complementary for all and equally accepting of all. Accepting differences is a unique quality which you find in some nation states. And it's also okay as a democracy. We are one of the most vibrant democracies in the world. As a democracy recognized, it is okay for me to have an opinion which is different from yours, and for you to have an opinion which is different from his. And that's fine too, which is what makes a democracy dynamic. In many ways, that is our biggest strength, and interestingly, it's also our biggest challenge. Our diversity also throws up many challenges, because what a part of India likes and accepts may be completely different from what another part of India likes and accepts. So for us to do things which are acceptable across the nation, even to make products and services acceptable across the nation, is very, very hard unless you understand the nuances of how different parts of India behave. We've seen this in many of our businesses, that it is important to understand that our festivals, which are differently designed for different faiths, different regions, will drive some behavior. Even product design actually changes. I remember in the old days, when I was in Hero Cycles, we had figured out that a particular color and design of a bicycle sells much more in West Bengal than in UP, for example. Sells more in Orissa than in Rajasthan. And we also figured out the cycle of how the demand changes based on people's events, weddings, and other events linked to the life of the agri-producer. It is more and more now being realized that if we are to progress as a complete nation, it is going to be critical for us to say you have to do at least this much as a people in terms of providing basic quality of life for health, and not just being able to provide hospitals and medicines, but preventive health care. Being able to provide education and skills as almost a right to all Indians, but ensuring that we all earn that right constantly by our behavior, by how we pay back to society. So I have the pleasure of being part of this panel of outstanding individuals, 3 individuals who in their own fields are fantastic leaders. They're great performers. I don't need to introduce them, you know all 3 of them quite well. So we can do it either way. If you like to make a statement each for a few minutes, you can do that first, or we can make it completely interactive, whatever your choice is. Fine. So let's have a few minute statement from each one of you, then we make it interactive.
Students, I always quote Swami Vivekananda, and I think this audience would also like to hear what I say, and that is that wisdom lies not in the amount of knowledge acquired, but in the degree of its application. If you are all here from industry and whatnot, I'm finding more and more in India, knowledge is created, but is not being implemented. So this is something I think Mr. Mohandas can comment on. Also, I'm a great believer that a person like myself, I'm a chemist, I like to do what I'm best at. I don't like to interfere in my company itself. I know nothing about supply chain, it was raised this morning. I know nothing about finance. My thing is new products, portfolio, R&D, and I like people to concentrate essentially on what they are best at. Not to say that they should not know what is going on. I know everything that's going on, but I'm concentrating on what I'm best at. The other thing, at least under the Indian thing on healthcare, I think one thing we have to look at very seriously is population and family planning. This is a neglected subject today. It wasn't in the 1960s when every time you saw big triangles all over the place. I'd like Mr. Mohandas to comment on the Indian population of 1.65 billion by 2050. Another thing that I always mention, and I think, again, I'm only talking healthcare, is how many of you here know what is the disease pattern in India? The disease pattern in India, 110 million mental health, 18 million cardiac, 60 million asthmatics, 60 million diabetics, 50 million hepatitis cases. 1 in 3 Indians has got latent TB. How many Indians are HIV positive? The government doesn't even want to know. So health in India is what I've always termed a permanent crisis. And because it's a permanent crisis, I think all of us in this room should look at it as to what do we do? This is a crisis situation which has to be solved. And it's all very well to grow and whatnot, but you want a healthy India. This is something I'm a great believer in, that when it comes to drugs, you therefore cannot afford a monopoly in healthcare. I leave it to you.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. So you touched an important point, and I'd just like to supplement one thing you said. You know, we continue to talk of young India, India's great demographic dividend, which we will achieve if we can train, skill, educate, and create opportunities. What we tend to forget is, in the next few years, India will also be the world's oldest country, not just the youngest country. We will have more people over the age of 60 than any nation in the world in the next 8 to 10 years. Are we equipped? Are we prepared? Are we doing enough in our systems, in our processes, in our healthcare, in providing pension plans, in providing buildings which have support for the elderly, in providing grab bars in buildings and homes? So there is something to think about that I think is not yet got enough of our attention. At the same time, as we're climbing up this ladder, one of our big challenges which India had recognized for a long time was cleanliness. Going further was sanitation itself. For centuries, actually for millennia, Indians were told you should never defecate close to your home. Now we're saying you should have a toilet inside every home. So genetically there is something that you have been trained in, and now you're being told something different. So there is a conflict in the message. How do you convey the message in a manner that you understand the complete benefit of doing something and changing a behavior? It is changing a societal behavior. Some people were doing it out of pure compulsion. Some were doing it because that is the way they were told, or that is the way they saw. So we have a unique leader with us here who has worked on transforming social behavior and transforming the lot of individuals who were disadvantaged and were considered a class of people that was considered inferior. I don't know what gave anyone or any of us the right to consider somebody inferior, but that's the way it was in society, and that was an accepted norm. You made this comment earlier, Dr. Pathak, that they could touch a dog, but not another human being, which is a shame when you think about it. So how do we ensure that this behavior that we're working on is transformed and transmitted across the nation?
In Vedic period, the system of cleaning night soil started. We find mentioned in Ayurveda that Chandas given the job of cleaning of night soil. And you actually said that in the Puranic period, the book called Devi Puran, suggested Indians not to defecate near the communities. So throw an arrow and it falls down. Dig a small pit, put some grass on it, and then defecate. After it is over, again put some grass on it and feed the soil. So these two systems or practices continued till British came to India. You will find in its architecture, any building, no provision of a toilet. Maybe emperor's house, a king's house, any house, everything have big architecture, very, but no toilet. On the corner of a house, a hole, a little defecate to fall down on the earth until it was clean. Now, Buddha period also, this continued. Meridien, Gupta, Mughals, and British. I don't want to go into our story, but so.
But it's a useful education for all of us.
Yes, so Mahatma Gandhi was the first person who wanted to rescue the untouchables and also to give alternative to open defecation. He said the people amnesty. Now, when Gandhi himself had written that till they clean night soil, nobody will have food with them. And Gandhi invited upper caste people in Odisha, Bindeshwar in 1934. They came in the evening, but refused to eat. So Gandhi had written that Indians can face the bullets of the British, but unable to eat the untouchables. Now, the million-dollar question was how to replace the system. The British introduced sewage system 1870 for the first time in Calcutta, 1850 in London, 1860 in New York, 1870 in Calcutta. By that technology, it is not possible to stop open defecation or to end the practice of manipulation. Only 160 towns and cities have a sewage system till now. So my conclusion is that I invented the technology. Had not I invented technology of solar, even today there is no chance of solving both the problems. Now, so that's solar technology. A simple technology, a simple idea that works. I just say two things. One is at a time, others can stand by. When it's full, switch off another one, and after 2 years, it becomes fertilizer manure. Simple technology. It's appropriate, affordable, indigenous, and consistent. I smell it from you. This is human skater in the hand. It's nothing else. So I
Rich fertilizer.
yeah, rich fertilizer that it contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and so this technology has made a difference in the lives of untouchables. Now they are not required to clean government scale. And also now they will go to toilets with safety degree. The question is that now how to go about and how to build. What I experienced that government and NGO, when they work together, then we can achieve the success. In isolation, neither the government nor the NGOs can. So in Sulab, in the last 50 years, I have worked with the government and changed the suggest life in India. We have put up about 1.5 million toilets, individual toilets. I have not patented technology. In the age of patenting, my mother used to say, always try to help others. When I developed all these technologies, I have kept it free, anyone can do it, extend it. Now these technologies can help not only Indians, 2.4 billion people on the planet from Africa, Asia, and Latin America, they have no access to safe and hygienic toilets. This can help them. So this is one thing. The second thing, the public toilets I was using there. Now, when I started Patna, corporation said I will give you land and cost of construction. I will not give you money for the maintenance. So I asked, you have to get money from the public and they will run it. Those are from Bihar here, just something they story. Don't mind, not be emotional. So they used to say, they don't pay bus fare, rail fare, would they pay toilet fare? I said, if it's clean, nobody mind pays for crime. If it is dirty, who will go inside? So first day, 500 people came to use the toilets. Now, the biggest toilet we have built now in Punjab, where 400,000 people, 4 lakh people will use daily. I present 1.5 lakh using daily right now. So now this system also has worked. Now the business company, other NGOs also have joined. Idea has worked. So we have done in Kabul, Afghanistan. Also we are doing now South Africa, Cape Town, all countries. So this idea also has worked. So one is individual toilet, or the public toilet. Also we have recycled human waste. And there we are getting biogas for cooking, for lighting, and also coming to energy. And the water discharge, this is the water for public toilet. You see, the BOD is less than 10. The Government of India standard is a 30 BOD. So this water also is used for fertilizer. But if you want to discharge, you have bodies with no chance of pollution. And I developed many years back, Government of India has many form committees, committee after committee, committee after committee, experts from Australia, America, France. But they don't come to Parliament, they don't see a report to see and of the technology. So now the question is that you have to give the alternative. This is very important. So John F. Kennedy said, not ask what the country has done for you. You ask what you have done for the country. So in sentence sector, I am telling you, that we have given alternative and all appropriate, affordable, indigenous, contestable. What he was telling about the curative side. And I am telling you the preventive side, that at least earlier. It's all preventive. 50 diseases are caused because of lack of sanitation, lack of toilets. And therefore, now, that's a crown of this is a village, that village had no toilet. Now, that lady, Sukuntala, she used to wake up whole night. She has 3 daughters and 3 daughter-in-law. And sitting one by one the whole night for the outside for convenience. Now, every house has a toilet now. And all are using and they are very happy. There is no complaint from any house that is not being used. So the question is how you deliver. You have to follow. Slowly motivate, inspire, communicate, implement, and follow up also. This is very important. So the question is that if you want to solve the problems, we have given all solutions. So now just away from that, this water we are cleaning in West Bengal, the arsenic area, from pond and from the wells. 50% excluding this water, 50% we are selling to the villagers. Now they are all being cured now. Arsenic area. Government of West Bengal trying too hard to find out from 82, 83, and we have solved the problem again. So the 50% water, all Bindeshwar, Mayapur, Mosul Kanti, all the wells now they have this water. In Delhi we are supplying this water 1 rupee per liter. I just put 1 rupee on the pipe and get 1 liter. If you want to treat water, this is Uttarakhand. And just nothing, no property outside, no, just put it in and the water is pure. So these are the technologies. Yes. You can use the tablet also. Yes, you can convert it. This is water I see. Just make a powder, put it in the biogas plant, and gas is like 4 to 5 tons. So now I would try to conclude. The question is that we have given solutions to all the sensitive problems India was facing, is facing. And if these are, so what is important? Earlier the government used to give money for a resource mobilization, monetary supervision. But now government has no money. After 6th Finance Commission, all has gone down. So the corporate sector, God has helped you to help someone. I was born in rich family, but my father lost all wealth. So we became very, very poor. We had problem for food also. One day, a person came to my mother, asked for the money. She went to other house and took a loan and gave to him. I asked my mother, we have no money. We have any problem. Why did you go to other house to took the loan and then? So mother said, look, this is village. We have lost wealth, everybody knows it. But this man did not go to gentleman, he would not have given money. So he came to me. So if somebody comes to you, never try to say no. Try to solve the problem. So what is required now? From America, a question asked for me. When the whole world becomes very happy, we were talking about the happy thing, your speech. So they thought I would apply factory, education, this and that. I said no. 3.5 billion people are marginalized and 3.5 billion very prosperous and happy people. If one person helps other, the whole world becomes happy. So what is required in India now? The Prime Minister of Finland and Modi has given a call to achieve free from open education by 2019. And by government alone, it is totally impossible to achieve. So the corporate sectors have to come forward, they will have to contribute, and then we can achieve the success. So to pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi and to fulfill the dreams of the Prime Minister of India, what will be required? Those who are sitting here, we are working with Airtel company, Bharti Foundation. Airtel company has taken the whole Ludhiana district. And the company is funding to us and we are doing the projects. So we are working with 82 companies, Boeing and this Bank, Rovia company and so on and so forth. 82 companies working with us.
I want to cut you short here,
yes,
because I want to make this a little bit more interactive.
Okay, so
This is a very, very critical
so
point you're making. I'm sorry to stop you at this point. because you're giving us a very, very important critical message. But I want to come back to this. So I want Mohan to get a word in. Mohan, as many of you know, is an absolutely unique leader. He's a rare quality as an individual, as a human being, who is pushing constantly for betterment, for efficiency, for innovation. I don't even want to tell you that he's a finance professional, etc. But I find he's got an amazing mind, very straight shooter. He doesn't play games. He will tell you what he likes. He will also tell you what he doesn't like. And he's seen very often on TV doing that. So he's one of the favorites for many of the channels, because many people will not publicly criticize when things are not okay. So he's an absolute straight back. Mohan, these are two very critical issues they've raised. For all of us now, as a people, and I'm talking now the world and of course India, we are in a bit of a dilemma at this moment. Do you think there is a quick fix available to us to solve this dilemma in a reasonable period of time? Because the world is also getting very impatient. People, especially young people, have high aspirations and low tolerance. A very explosive combination if you don't meet your aspirations. So do you think, you often talked of technology and what innovation can do. These two are big problems because they are our basic needs. Can you think of a way we can do this very, very efficiently in a reasonable period of time, so then we can focus on looking at these not as problems, but as a given, and try and move forward on the many other issues that are still facing us?
Address this in two planes. One, globally. Globally is very clear. We have to remake a new world order under new circumstances. The post-world architecture based upon 5 powers dominating the world is gone. China has risen. By 2020, the emerging market GDP will be more than the OECD. The time when the OECD ran the world is gone because they just don't have the ability to control. China has risen as a power. In PPP is $22 trillion, the largest economy in the world. America is 18 and India is about 8.2. So if you look at the world today, we have to remake, and unless that happens, the world will not be a single place. Second, we have to confront terrorism in the world. Terrorism in the Middle East and India's neighborhood is the biggest problem the world has, and this is creating countries to close borders. And that means the debate has to come more, and we must make sure that one country in the Middle East does